everyone and welcome to today's video, which is my February TBR, and all the books that I've chosen for this month are romance books since it is Valentine's Day in February. So I've picked out 5 books, and I feel like 5 books is like the perfect medium for a TBR for me because I don't know how many books I'm going to read in the month, and I don't like doing a huge TBR because then I get stressed if I can't get to it. But I did write myself a TBR for January, which was around 5 books, and I read like 4 of them. So I feel pretty confident that I could get through all of these, but I'm also kind of a mood reader, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get to all these, but I will try. Also, let me tell you, all the books that I picked this month unintentionally ended up being pink, which perfectly fits the theme, like crazy. But as I was saying, these are all romance books, so this also can be some inspiration of books that you can also read in February. So the first book I'm hoping to read is Unravel Me by Becca Mack. And this is actually the 3rd in a series, and I haven't read the other 2, but it is the Book Talk Book Club's book of the month for February, so of course I had to get it because I do want to read along with everyone. But this is a sports romance with ice hockey, I believe, and I think you can read this series out of order because it is just like interconnected standalones where each book follows a different couple. But of course we'll see the previous couples mentioned in this book, but I won't know them, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be like too big of a deal, because I was going to buy the whole series and then maybe read that all of February so I could get to the 3rd one, which is the book of the month, but they didn't have it at the shop, so I just got the 3rd, and I'm hoping I won't be too confused, but I'm really looking forward to this because I've heard great things about this series. So this is the first book, and probably going to be one of the ones that I read in the beginning of the month so I can get it done. Next I have Loath to Love You, which I feel like is the perfect book to read in February because it's a collection of short stories, so cute little romance stories. I have read the first one, which is called Under One Roof. I read that last year, but I still have 2 more left in this, and I love Ali Hazelwood, so I feel like I should definitely get round to it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to read all of them or just the one. I feel like it would be like a nice little short one in between all my other books that I've picked. The one I'm up to is called Stuck With You. I believe that's the cover, the green one down below. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Next I have To Love Jason Thorne, and I've had this book on my shelf for like a while now. I think I got it like a couple years ago, and I haven't read it, but I have heard mixed opinions, so I don't know what I'll think of it. So it's about our main character whose childhood crush, which I believe was her brother's best friend or something, now becomes a movie star. So now he's a famous actor, and I think there's like a relationship there. Oh, I think so. Maybe she's an author, and she wrote a story about him, and then he like comes back into her life, and maybe he knows that the story is about him. I'm not too sure, but I'm really hoping I'll end up liking this because I do have another book by this author, which is To Hate Adam Connor. I also have that on my shelf, so I'm hoping that I'll like the writing style, so I can read that one. So the only thing that I am concerned about is the writing, because I had heard people don't love it, but the storyline sounds good, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy it. And the next book that I have is Flawless by Elsie Silver, and this is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series, and I have been wanting to read this series for so long, and so I feel like now is the perfect time to read it. It's a small town romance series, and I don't often read small town romance, so I really want to get into that subgenre, and I feel like this is the perfect place to start. I feel like everyone that likes a small town romance has read this series and loves it. I know so many people prefer the second one, so I'm hoping, again, as always, that I will like this so I can continue the series. But this, I guess, would you consider it a sports romance as well, because the main guy in it, he's a bull rider? I don't really know much about bull riding. I've watched a movie where the guy was a bull rider. That was The Longest Ride with Britt Robertson and Scott Eastwood. So that's like literally the extent of my knowledge on bull riding, but maybe I'll learn something new in this book. I don't know. Bull riding seems like fun. I'm going to be entering my small town romance era, and I'm here for it. Like, I was gonna say, look, I'm matching, but I'm kind of matching with all the books because I am wearing pink and my books are pink. Like, look. Fun. Anywho, Flawless. Hoping for good things. And the next book I have here is Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and as you may have seen in my recent reading vlog and my January wrap-up, I've read Icebreaker, and I know I'm very late. I feel like everyone has read Icebreaker but me, but I've read it now and I enjoyed it, so I'm really looking forward to reading Wildfire. This one is about Russ, who is a character that we met in Icebreaker. He's on the ice hockey team, so I'm interested to see more about his character, and it's at a summer camp, and I feel like that would be such a fun setting. They don't really have like summer camps in Australia, but there were school camps and that vibe was fun, so I'm hoping that like this will be just as fun. I'm sure it will be. The main characters are camp counselors, so I feel like that'd be the perfect book to read, especially since it's like the end of summer in Australia, so I feel like it's the perfect time to read a book about a summer camp. I think it'll be super fun and I'm really looking forward to reading this. So those are all 5 books that I'm hoping to read in February, but I do have a current read at the moment, which is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. When I say current read, I mean like I've been reading a page a day. So like I've barely picked up this book. Not that it's bad, it's definitely not. I just don't know, I've entered the tiniest little reading slump and I haven't read for 4 days, besides like 1 or 2 pages. So I don't know what's happening there. But this was one of my most anticipated releases of 2024 and I was actually lucky enough to get an early copy. You can get it super soon. It is a sports romance, but this book follows our main character Josephine, who is a fangirl of this guy who's a golfer. So it is a golf sports romance, which I've never read any of those before, and I believe it's also got the grumpy sunshine trope, and I feel like that's a trope that a lot of people love, so I'm hoping that I'll really enjoy this book. Hopefully I get out of my little reading slump so I can finish it and so that I can get to my other 5 books that I'm hoping to read. But those are my romance books that I'm hoping to read this February. I'm really excited to get to all of these and I hope this video also helped you find some new romance books that you could read in the month of February. I'd love to know if you've already picked out your little romance TBR. So let me know in the comments what books you're planning on reading this month. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below so you do not miss any new videos from me. I do post every single Saturday, but I have been posting a lot more frequently recently, so you don't want to miss any new videos. As always, all my social medias are linked in the description box as well, so make sure to give those a follow. But that is it for today. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!